what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more.
Yo, let's go. Let's go, baby. Dude, I am fired up for this stream. Happy Tuesday night, everyone. Let's go, baby. Dude, I'm fired up. Shout out the homie Rhett. Some of y'all might know him as the guy who put together my channel profile picture. Well, he was kind enough to also put together a little intro for me, a little like waiting screen and everything. The waiting screen I've still got to figure out a few kinks with, but the intro he threw together back in September, and I finally put it in here now. It's just a little fun extra little thing, right? I thought it was sick, but yeah, you got it right, man. New intro, do this. You got that right, Pear Champ. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. It's hard to believe. It's been like almost 3 weeks since I've gone live, but you know I had to do this every single year. I look forward to this. This is genuinely one of my favorite streams that I do every year. This is one of the first streams I've ever done on this channel. Actually, if you go all the way back to spring of 2023, I was still living in Athens, Georgia at the time, still going to college. We are going to be doing the famous, the iconic Stay Hot quarterback ranking quiz. That's right. We're going to be ranking every single starting quarterback in the NFL. I know some people in chat were talking, Caden and Sebastian were talking about maybe like a backup QB version. I think that would be super sick. Caden, if there is a way that you're able to like throw that together at some point, that would be awesome, because I think you could have just as many interesting conversations surrounding that than you could with like the starting quarterbacks, right? But we are going to be doing starting quarterbacks today. I'll be honest, I actually don't know which QBs are all on here. I think there's more than 32. I don't know if your boy Malik Willis is on here or not, but it would be interesting if he was, because, you know, he's playing all right now. You know, we'll probably have Malik in there. We'll have the GOAT Jacoby in there, I'm sure. That'll be a lot of fun. We'll probably hit a little bit of news too, just because it has been 3 weeks and some stuff happened today. It's been an interesting day in the Diggs family. That's what I'll say. There's a little bit to talk about, you know, and we got the final week of the regular season coming up. The schedule came out, right? They revealed like what's going to be the Sunday night game, the Saturday games, and all that good stuff. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And then we're going to dive into the main event, the quarterback ranking quiz. But as always, you guys know the drill. Feel free to say hello in chat. Looks like we've got a great group in here already. We got Caden, Sebastian, Brent, Pearchamp, and Parker. What's going on, fellas? Hey, appreciate y'all tuning in, as always, right? And I apologize about not going live a few weeks ago for that Seahawks-Rams game. I really wanted to, but you know, and this is going to sound ominous. It's not bad or anything. Like, everything is okay. But, you know, just life happens sometimes. But I was able to watch the game, so that was super fun. Christine and I watched the game, and man, great game, great week of football. I mean, we've really been spoiled, I feel like, these past few weeks with some unbelievable games. So there's a lot that's happened since I last went live, but I'm happy to be back, man. It's been too long. And we'll be back next week, too, to fill out our playoff bracket live on stream, as well as play a little game that Caden put together for us. So fun show next week, fun show this week. Let's just do it, baby. Let's just do it. Let's talk a little news here real quick. Biggest thing I wanted to talk about was the schedule coming out for this final week, right? You know, they got the flex scheduling. Every single game, it gets decided like the week before when they're going to do it. A lot of chatter about where they've decided to put these games, right? But I kind of stand with the NFL here. I honestly think that they cooked with how they put together this schedule. I think this was the best way to do it. Saturday, you've got the doubleheader. 4:30 p.m., you've got the NFC South Championship. Kind of. There's a little tiebreaker quirk, but for the most part, right? Panthers versus Bucks in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Wow, that was a Midwestern way to say it. But in Tampa, should be a great game. Looks like Bucks might have the slight edge, depending on who you ask. But I don't know, man. Well, I mean, I don't know if we'll preview this game or not, but I don't know. I'd be happy if either team won. That's what I'll say. You know, I've always got support from the Bucks. But, you know, there's a small part of me that's just like pulling for the Panthers. Don't tell the Bucks I said that, though. Don't tell the Bucks I said that. But obviously, I'd be happy if the Bucks won. And then 8 p.m., man, this is the big one for the 1 seed, Seahawks versus 49ers. Here's what I'll say, because I think there's been a big debate over having that game on Saturday night, the Seahawks 49ers game, and then having the Ravens Steelers game be on Sunday night, right? I feel like a lot of people aren't necessarily happy with that. I'm going to be honest. I actually think this is the right call. Obviously, these are the two better teams, and the stakes are very high for this, and this is a big rivalry, right? This is a very big game. I'm not trying to downplay this game. And there is a big difference between getting the 1 seed or the 5 seed. As a Vikings fan, I know. I lived that last year, right? I will say, as a true neutral, as a neutral football enjoyer, I'm more excited for this game. I think this game has bigger stakes, right? The winner is in, the loser goes home. This is just as big of a rivalry. This might be Aaron Rodgers' final game in the NFL. You've got all the drama with Lamar and the Ravens. I think this is a more exciting and more interesting game. It's in Pittsburgh too, right? The terrible towels are going to be waving. I'm honestly happy that they put this game as the Sunday night game, as the finale. I like this game a lot. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to be locked in for all of them. But I don't know what you guys are thinking. I don't know what consensus in chat is here, but I actually think the NFL made a great call here putting this game as the final game. I don't know. What do y'all think? I will say, other than that, there's really not a ton of super interesting games here in this final week. I mean, most of the stuff has already been locked up, right? I mean, I guess you've got Denver playing for the 1 seed in the AFC, but the Chargers just announced they're not going to play Herbert. Denver and Patriots, like their games going on at the same time is kind of interesting. Eagles are fighting for the 1 seed or the 2 seed with the Bears. Like that's kind of interesting, but it's not, the dream setup a few weeks ago would have been like, oh my gosh, like Lions are winning in going against Ben Johnson. That would have been sick. That would have been awesome. But sorry, Sebastian. Vikings already took care of business there. This game looked like it could have been huge a few weeks ago. Colts just ended up sputtering down the stretch. Okay, maybe not so much anymore. Bengals aren't like fighting to get in or anything. This Saints-Falcons game is at least a little interesting just because it might set up the whole 3-way 8-9 tiebreaker after that Falcons win last night. Shout out the Dirty Birds. Let's go, baby. Was at that game. This game might be interesting because if the Falcons win, let's say... Well, and I like how this Bucks-Panthers game is the day before the Falcons-Saints game. Because let's say the Bucks win, then all of a sudden, this Saints-Falcons game means a whole lot. Not necessarily for either team that's playing in it, but for those that aren't familiar with the tiebreaker scenario, right? If the Buccaneers win on Saturday, they go to 8-9, the Panthers go to 8-9. And if the Falcons win on Sunday, they also go to 8-9. That would then set up a 3-way tie between the 3, 8, and 9 teams. And the tiebreaker would be record against each other, I think. And the Panthers have the best record amongst those 3 teams against each other, right? So in a normal situation, if it was just 8-9 versus 8-9, there'd be a different tiebreaker. But if the Falcons win, then that changes the tiebreaker. I've never seen anything like it before. So that's at least interesting. But I mean, for the most part, it's not the greatest slate of games, and that's low-key kind of what happens when you got an extra game. But I don't know, man. I'm just a guy. Brent's wishing everyone Merry Christmas and holidays. Appreciate it. Hope you guys had a good, safe holiday as well. We've got New Year's coming up as well. Just have fun, stay safe. Sounded like my mom. Make good choices, make good memories, but I'm excited. It'll be pretty chill here at this household, but I'm excited for the new year. That should be pretty nice. Hope you guys are all enjoying maybe some time off, just some rest and relaxation, man. It's another year. It's hard to believe, but it's been good, man. 2025 has been a very good year to me, so I'm very grateful. That's what I'll say. Sebastian is saying the problem with the backup quarterback ranking is that you'd inherently be going off small sample size. Oh, that's fair, right? That's fair. But it's also kind of fun to stake your claim on some of these backups too. But I get that. Brent with a little soccer update. Appreciate it. The Tanzania qualified for the knockouts of AFCON with 2 points, 2 draws, and a loss. Dude, that's honorable AFCON play right there. That's how it's supposed to be. And we got Michael tuning in. Appreciate you, Michael. The standard is the standard. Hey, I will say, for the record, I am actually kind of pulling for the Steelers here in this final game. I don't know. There was just something that weirdly made me so happy seeing Mike Tomlin like walk off the field against the Lions a few weeks ago. It's like, dude, everyone was calling for him to be fired. That man just got one of the biggest wins he's ever had in the last however many years. Kind of sucks what happened against the Browns then this past Sunday, but we'll see. They still have a chance, man. I will say. I mean, I'm sure you probably know this better than I do, but man, the sky is going to be falling if Pittsburgh doesn't win that game. Heads might roll, dude. That if they lose that game, it's hard to imagine the Steelers ownership like actually firing Tomlin or anything, but I don't know, man. Like that would be brutal. Like that would be a disaster. That would be one of the biggest disasters I think we've ever seen the Steelers face if they can't pull this game off. And I don't know. We'll see if Lamar plays. We'll see. But Pair Champ is saying the Falcons could get the Panthers in. Yeah, with the crazy tiebreaker. Yeah, dude. I mean, that would be such a Panthers way to get into, right? I mean, that's the most NFC South way possible to get into the playoffs with the 3-way tiebreaker. They lose the win in game and they still get in. It's unbelievable. Oh, yes, I did say that, Sebastian. You're right. That's an underrated bit. Just like when I say, I'm not saying this, and you're like, bro, I can't believe you said the 2012 Ravens didn't deserve to win the Super Bowl. Yes, thank you, Caden. Appreciate you. Let's go. You got the Discord link. I knew that was coming. We'll pin that in here real quick. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Get that pinned. We had a few people join Discord over the past few weeks. I liked it. That one guy, oh my gosh, I can't remember his name, but his profile picture was like the monkey from Toy Story with the symbols, and he asked about the fullbacks. It's like, dude, that's the kind of stuff that I live for right there, those kind of questions. I saw it a day late, but I was like, dude, I got to answer this question. I live for that kind of stuff. That was awesome. So, that's the kind of stuff we talk about in the Discord. And we've got a few fun competitions coming up for the playoffs. I think we'll bring back what we did last year with the playoffs because, that was a good time. I think we'll run that back. All right. Shoot, man. I don't know. We hit the schedule. I guess we have Trayvon Diggs got cut. That whole situation looks interesting. It's kind of, I don't know. There's a few reports about like just a fractured relationship. And then obviously you've got this. Look, I'm not a legal expert. This is very much a he said, she said situation right now, and I have no idea who's telling the truth, but it is crazy, crazy bad timing for all this to happen. I mean, dude, I'm not, let me reiterate that. I'm not saying that to like downplay any of these allegations or anything. Like, I'm just saying like, this is crazy that this is, happening, right? I thought I should maybe emphasize that. I'm not trying to be like, well, it's awfully convenient timing. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this. Yeah, that's tough. But anyways, we've got the main event coming up here. I'll get that set up and catch up with chat here. Looks like we got a few more people filing in here too. We got Eagle Eyes. I could say whatever, right? Ultra Tough Scene or Eagle Eyes. I like saying Eagle Eyes, though. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's go. Brent saw Mumford & Sons over the weekend. Oh, okay. That's like a very nice, like, wheelhouse for me. Mumford & Sons. That genre of music, like, early 2010s, like, indie alternative rock, that kind of stuff. Let's go, baby. That gets me going. I love hearing that, dude. I might have to go see him at some point. I'm assuming they're touring right now. I don't know their discography too well. Like, I know their hits, but, like, I feel like that would be a fun concert to go to. Myles Garrett didn't get the sack record. Nah, he's got one more week to do it now. Yeah. I mean, the Browns, if you ask a lot of Browns fans, they're upset because they helped the Ravens. And there's obvious beef between those two organizations, right? Considering the Ravens literally used to be the Browns. Like, There really is no one that came away happy from that game. You're totally right. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Oh, Monkey Gibble. There we go. No team flair. They're just a fan of team fullbacks. I mean, hey, that's what it's all about. And yes, thank you, Parker, for the reminder. The all-pro rookie team, the all-rookie team. Oh, yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. That'll be a fun end-of-season thing that we'll do. In fact, well, you know what? No, I'm not going to spoil anything, but Let's just say, genuinely, I think what might be one of my best streams ever is coming soon. And that might sound like crazy hyperbole. And so we got to deliver on that promise. But oh man, let's just say like a few weeks. I don't even remember what exact day, but Kaden and I have been trying to plan out some of these streams now for the next month or so. When I know the exact date, I'll be like, mark your calendars because this one's going to be awesome. But I think it's about time that we just get into it. Here we go. It's time for the main event. I'm excited for this. This is the QB ranking quiz. Shout out Stay Hot. Shout out Blade and Kirk for putting together this website. For those that aren't familiar, here's how it works. You've got your progress bar right here, and you simply just pick which quarterback you think is better, and it'll give you a bunch of different options. You click through all of them, and at the end of the quiz, it'll spit out a little ranking. I think there's usually 36 on here, but it'll spit out a ranking 1 through 36, and it's based off of how you answer these questions, right? I mean, it's maybe quiz isn't the best word. You know what I mean, though. It's like a questionnaire. Who you think is better? And so before I get started, just to sort of clear the air on my criteria with how I'm going to be choosing this, right? This is kind of how I've always done it. This sounds so bare bones, but hear me out. This is just simply who I think the better player is, right? Like, as I always like to say, let's say I'm at recess, I'm picking a team, right? Who am I picking here? Really, you could think about it like, if I had a game tomorrow, who would I want at quarterback? Or like for 17 games, for a 17-game season, who would I want at quarterback? I'm not necessarily factoring in future upside right now. I might be able to acknowledge it, but I'm not going to be like, well, Shador might be better in 5 years. Like, nah, that I won't pick a player because of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not factoring in contract or anything like that. Who do I think is better? And Parachamp is saying only this season or past accomplishments taken into account. Great question. I would say I'm going to weigh the majority of it on this season because I think, like we've seen about 16 games of all these guys now at this point for this season. It'll be like a rubric, but I would say like 75% of it I'm weighing towards what I saw this season. Now, I'm not going to like have Lamar down at like 20 because like, he hasn't been like, I'll probably have him higher than that. You know what I'm saying? But like, and I won't have like Drake May at 1 necessarily, but I am going to factor mostly what I've seen this season into it. Right. And so this stream has been a long one before. It's had varying times, but we'll see how it goes. But without further ado, we'll throw up the wrist real quick. Hey, Shador's been fun, man, but come on. I mean, you got to go Sam Darnold here, right? Shador has been a lot of fun. In some ways, he's been a little bit better than I've expected, but also, I mean, it's totally fair to say some of the concerns that we saw in college are still very much there. Like, he just takes some bad sacks, dude. He just tries to do too much dancing around the pocket. I mean, I wouldn't blame the Browns if they just took a quarterback in the first round this next year. I don't think they should be saying like, we found our guy. I don't know. He's fine. But we'll go Sam, dude. Sam has been great this year. I mean, we'll make our picks, and there might be like, more hotly contested ones that we'll like dive further into. But I think it's fair to say Sam Darnold has been like a pretty good like top half of the league quarterback this year. Like even though he's cooled down a little bit, like this is a good player, dude. This is about the guy we saw in Minnesota last year. And if you're the Seahawks, that's a home run, right? If you got that quarterback, which they did. So we'll go Sam here. But yeah. Got the naked wrist, no ice on here whatsoever right now, or ever, really. But there's some Vikings attendance allegations. Uh-oh. Well, I was at the Vikings game, that's what I'll say, and I did have a very good time there. I gotta say, it was nice seeing Brian Flores unleash the hounds. So that was a fun game. I got to go to 2 games in the past week, man. Very, very fortunate for that. That was a lot of fun. Greatest QB of all time. All right, next one. Justin Herbert or Caleb Williams? I think you pretty clearly got to go Herbo here, right? I think Herbert's going to end up pretty high on my rankings. Caleb has definitely taken a step forward this year. There's a lot of stuff that I've liked. There's a lot of growth that I've liked from him, right? He's really cut down on taking some of those bad sacks. His deep accuracy has gotten a little bit better. he still misses some. I mean, we saw that game on Sunday night, right? There's a few misses, but those were consequential misses. Still struggles with accuracy a little bit, but this is what I'm saying. Like 3 years from now, this could be a very, very close race between these two. I think Caleb is well on his way. He's coming, but you got to go Herbert right now. Dart or Dak? I mean, come on. I mean, come on, man. I mean, we know my feelings about Dak, and no disrespect to Dart. He's been a little bit better than I thought he would be, honestly. But come on. You know, here's an interesting one. Sebastian asking, would I say that Darnold is more deserving of the Pro Bowl than the number 2 quarterback in touchdown passes who also has half as many interceptions? Well, here's what I'll say. If you're alluding to Jared Goff, here's what I'll say. I'm sure I will get to Goff versus Darnold in a little bit. I'm sure it'll come up, and I'll give my thoughts on that then. That's what I'll say. Yeah. Oh, he's coming. All right. Jaden Daniels or Jalen Hurts? This one is a little bit tougher. We haven't seen a ton of Daniels this year. I will say, when he's played, I think he's still been pretty good. Obviously not quite at the heights that he was last season, but I would say noticeably better than any of the other quarterbacks the Commanders have trotted out this season, right? I think the offense runs a lot better with him. I still might go Jaden. I'm not in the camp of like, wow, like this is a future top 5 quarterback. Like maybe some of the regression was inevitable, just the way that they ran their offense and like, you know, injury concerns and stuff. And that's a tough thing that like maybe, I mean, to your credit, Sebastian, maybe that's something you need to consider, right? Is availability. Like it is totally fair to be concerned about Daniel's health long-term, right? And just like, man, can you get through a season with this guy? Because he's so slight, but so much of his game is built off of rushing. Opposite of Hurts, where like Hurts is super strong and he doesn't take all these big hits. And when he does, like he's more built for it, you know? I still might say Daniels, though. I think Daniels is a little bit better of a quarterback. I think they both have similar weaknesses, but I think Daniels is maybe just a little bit better of a runner. And man, his deep ball is so pretty, and he's so cool in the pocket. Like, I think I'll go Jaden Daniels, honestly. I know there might be some Eagles fans watching this, and I don't even know what Eagles fans like the consensus thoughts are on Hurts at this point. We've had those Hurts discussions this past offseason. Man, there is so many good Hurts debates, but I'm actually very interested to see where Hurts comes in on my list. And I'd also love to maybe compare my list last year to this year, but I don't know where Hurts will be. I don't know. I'm a little interested about that. Parachamp is saying Hurts cannot be a great QB without a good run game threat. I'm kind of with you on that. I think he has a good deep ball. I really do. Even this year where it hasn't been like the best year for him, those throws down the sideline, those go balls to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, those are nice. He is like legitimately really good at that. And I got to give him props for how much he's done to like develop his game as just like a pure quarterback, right? Like I think I've talked about this on like my game streams before, but anytime I see Jalen Hurts take a snap under center, it's like, dude, like he straight up was not doing this in college. He was barely doing this even a few years ago in the NFL, right? So like it is cool to see him like put in so much work to improve that kind of stuff. And like, wow, he can run under center play action. Like he used to not be able to do that, but he doesn't, I don't know. I don't think he sees the field particularly well sometimes, and he just takes bad sacks. I don't know. But it's fair to be skeptical of Daniel's future. That is understandable. Like, dude, I don't know. We'll see what he looks like next year when he comes back again. Yeah, that's fair. Besides the 4-pick game, Hurts has been efficient. He has, you know, and I don't know. He's been all right. He might come in at like 17. That'd be my guess. We'll see. God King Gino or we riot. Nah, bro. Here was the big one from last year when I did this was Gino. And I got to say, people in my Discord are saying, man, I just don't see the Gino vision. You know what? You guys won the war there. I got to tip my cap to you guys. I swear he was not this player in Seattle that we've seen with Oakland. Good Lord. Vegas this year. Dude, Gino's been bad, though. I mean, I'm not exactly like Mr. Baker Mayfield cheerleader right now either. Geno's been bad. It's got to be Baker. Purdy or Penix, got to be Purdy pretty easily. Dude, he had himself a game on Sunday night. I'm starting to come around on him a little bit. I'm starting to see the light with him a little bit. Come on. Come on. I mean, some of these are pretty self-explanatory. We don't need to waste too much time on. It's nice to talk about these players. Here's a genuinely interesting one here, though. Oh, two of the Saints quarterbacks, Tyler Shuck versus Spencer Rattler. I think I'm going to lean Shuck here, but I will say, as a chief member of the Rat Pack, I think it's honestly close, and Shuck has impressed me. I think Shuck has been a little bit better. I think that's totally fair to say, and Shuck has really impressed me, especially like this past month or so. Like he's honestly playing some good ball right now. He's looking like one of the better rookies from this offensive rookie class. I am going to go Shuck. I would love for a team to take a chance on Spencer Rattler, even if they just bring him in as a guy for a competition. Maybe even the Vikings, or I'd love for the Rams to just bring him in and let him sit for a little bit. I would love to see what he could do outside of New Orleans because, I don't know, he's shown me a little something every time he's come out there. But I am going to go Shuck. Shuck has been too good to go against. So, and I mean, hey, he got the job from Rattler, and in the same situation with the same team, he's played better. So I think that's pretty fair. That's fair. All right. Kyler Murray or Jordan Love? I'm going to go Love here. Murray is just I don't know, he's such a head case, right? Like, he's obviously talented, but dog, it's like, this is like year 7 of us doing this now, where it's like, oh, if you could just put it together, like, very, very frustrating. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think he's all right, but he might be another guy that's on the move. If there were a quarterback to get traded this offseason, he's probably going to be the biggest one that would get dealt. Would he be worth like a first? I don't know. Maybe if you're like desperate. I don't know. He's fine. He's got upside, but he's fine. And it's year 7 now that we're saying this. It's like, okay, he's probably just fine. But I really like Love. I think Love will come in pretty high. I stand with Jordan Love. There's been some interesting Jordan Love versus Malik Willis chatter online. I stand with Jordan Love. That's what I'll say. Caden asking genuine question, Willis or Rattler? Ooh, I like that question. Call me crazy. And I'm very impressed with what Malik Willis has done this year. I like Malik Willis a lot. I think he's earned himself to be in like that same category of like, oh, I'd like to see what like a team could do if they just brought him in as like a young competition piece, like see if he can win the job, right? I still think I like Rattler a little bit more. No disrespect to Willis. I still think I like Rattler a little bit more. I just think like man, what if Rattler was on the Packers, Like Willis is probably a little bit better of a runner, but Rattler's a good athlete too. They both have got really strong arms. Weirdly, this might sound weird to say about someone like Spencer Rattler, who you might just picture as like a more raw player or whatever, right? But weirdly, I think he checks a lot of those boxes of like pocket management and like getting the ball out and stuff like that. Like, man, he'll hang in some muddy pockets, take a hit, but like fire a throw over the middle of the field. He does a lot of those big boy quarterbacking things that Willis has done a little bit too. And it's been impressive. Like, it's been impressive to see him like add some of that stuff to his bag. Genuinely, I think it's close, but I would actually probably take Rattler over Willis. I have too much Spencer Rattler stocks right now. Brent is calling to start Cam Miller for the Raiders. I mean, why not at this point, dude? I mean, like, it's been that type of year for them, man. Might as well. Why not? All right, here's a fun one. These two forever linked. Goff or Stafford. Here's what else, and well, I'm sure we'll get to more into Goff in a little bit. Goff has been really good this year, like genuinely. Like, I honestly think this has been the best season of his career as far as like the production is still there, all these changing parts on the Lions, losing these offensive linemen, losing Ben Johnson. The protection has honestly been like kind of bad for him. And the tape, man, like this has probably been the best year of Jared Goff tape too. Like every time you watch the Lions, it's like, wow, like, okay, like he's never going to be an elite athlete, right? But he used to just get so frazzled when you'd get pressure on him, right? Like, it wasn't just that, oh, he can't run away. Like, he would just, like, his brain would short circuit, especially if you think about his time in LA. Dude, he is nails in the pocket now. You pressure him, dude, he'll just stand up there. He gets that ball out with timing. It's Stafford. I mean, it is Stafford, but, like, you got to give Goff his flowers. Like, he's closed the gap between him and Stafford a little bit. I think that's fair to say. He's closed the gap at least. Parachamp asking, what would be the best team for Kyler? Miami, Falcons, Jets, Colts, or others? Falcons would honestly be a good team. You know, I was actually thinking about that last night, walking out of that Falcons game. It's like, you know, I don't know. There's some stuff to like about this Falcons team. There really is. I was actually thinking about that. It's like, and maybe there's some Falcons fans watching that could like go against this or like change my mind. Because I know a lot of people are calling for Raheem Morris's job right now, but it's like, I don't know, dude. I just watched that defense put on a show for 60 minutes. This defense is like second in the NFL in sacks. They've done a good job developing their young players. Are we sure we want to break up this coaching staff? Maybe get rid of Zach Robinson, the OC. Are we sure we want to get rid of Raheem? And especially Jeff Ulbrich, their DC. It's like, are we sure we want to get rid of these guys with how that defense is playing right now? If Atlanta gets a quarterback, I don't know. They got an interesting roster. I'm starting to buy back some Falcons stock a little bit. I think Kyler with the Falcons would be fun. I think Kyler to the Jets would be fun too. That's another team that I'm like slowly buying stock for the next season. I'm buying super low right now. I like some of these pieces that they got on offense. Ooh, I would say Falcons or Jets would be a lot of fun. I think those would be good fits too, schematically. Oh, Kyler and Bijan and the pistol in that run game? Come on now. That would be... Okay, dude, Parachamp, you've planted a seed in my mind now. Kyler to the Falcons. That might actually be the best move for both parties. That would actually work. That would move me. Packers QB tax for Willis. He does have good infrastructure around him. Well, that's fair. And I mean... And, to an extent, like the Packers have had plenty of injuries too, right? Like not just at the quarterback position. Like there's no Tucker Kraft, arguably their best pass catcher. Their offensive line is getting turned inside out. Like there's a lot at play here. But all right, next one, Rodgers or Fields. I mean, it's got to be Rodgers pretty easily, right? I mean, he's the best quarterback the Steelers have had in a hot minute, and one of those is Justin Fields. Oh, that's crazy. We got the current Vikings quarterback and the next Vikings quarterback. This means that it's happening, right? If these two are together, it means that Joe Burrow will, in fact, be a Minnesota Viking come next year. It's no. Yeah, come on. Trevor or Josh? Look, I love Trevor. He's going to end up very high on this. And Josh has had an interesting past month or so. He's been a little up and down, but this is what I'm saying with like, you could argue strictly this year that Trevor Lawrence has played a little bit better than Josh Allen, but like when push comes to shove, if we're going to be real with ourselves, and I say this as Mr. Trevor Lawrence, like, come on, who's the better player, right? It's Josh. Come on now, Oh, I almost drank out of the water without it being flipped up. Sebastian saying in the Lions-Rams game, Stafford was playing against practice squad DBs and had the refs help him stat pad, and Jared Pookie still outplayed him. Now, Goff was good in that game too, right? There's no denying it, and I will say, dude, it is kind of funny. Like, I've watched Matthew Stafford play in person twice in my life. 2021 Vikings versus Rams on Boxing Day, and then yesterday. And both times, he has had just, like, horrible stinkers of games, dude. That Vikings game back in 2021, it was either 3 or 4 interceptions and no touchdowns, and it was just such an ugly game. The Rams still won because Aaron Donald just went stupid and took the game over. And then last night he throws, 3 more interceptions? Like, dude, I've seen my GOAT play twice, and he's had horrible games both times. It's like, no. But I was happy the Falcons won, though. I was actually pretty fired up. It's like, you know what? Let's go, Falcons. Let's go. A-Town down, baby. That was a good time. Caden says, the thing to consider with Malik Willis is he's better than your favorite quarterback. I mean, well, who even is my favorite? I guess it's like all the Vikings quarterbacks. Like that's the honorable, righteous answer, right? My favorite quarterbacks, Max Brosmer, JJ McCarthy, oh my gosh, Brett Rippon, Desmond Ritter. Those are my guys. Those are my 4 favorite quarterbacks to watch. um, but, well, I don't know. Maybe Malik does clear all those guys. Low key, would Malik Willis be the best quarterback on the Vikings right now? That's actually a genuinely interesting question. I don't know. Maybe 9's got him. Maybe 9's at least slightly turned the corner a little bit. Chat going crazy for 9. I love it. All right. Bo Nix or CJ Stroud. I am still going to go Stroud here. I know like the hype is kind of faded on Stroud a little bit after that incredible rookie year. Like maybe in the public perception, he hasn't quite hit that same level, but it is still a really good quarterback, right? And I think we've even seen now, like these past few games, like Stroud is turning it on a little bit. He's got that connection with Nico Collins back. The offensive line is at least shaping up a little bit. It's like, okay, you know what? Here we go. Like, he's still got the accuracy, still a pretty good creator. I'm here for it, man. Really smart player, too, right? He does a lot at the line of scrimmage, a lot of stuff that, like, most quarterbacks his age don't do as far as, like, calling out protections and getting control of audibles and stuff like that. Like, you listen to him talk, man. There is a nice head on his shoulders. Smart guy. I'm going to go Stroud. We'll talk more about Nix, who, to his credit, I think has had like some genuinely good moments this year and has shown like at least a few positive steps in the right direction. Because Bo Nix is a guy we've had a lot of conversations about on this channel, but I will go Stroud here. I gotta say, I'm liking the Texans. Chris Oladukin. Nah, dude, I was literally going to say before I started this, like, I don't know who's going to be on this quiz. Something tells me, like, Chris Oladukin isn't going to pop up on my screen. Something tells me Max Brosmer ain't showing up. But who knows? I mean, maybe I'll have to give a Chris Oladukin take tonight. We'll see. Oh, man. Sebastian saying, speaking of Goff, I think I could make a video about how first impressions can define narratives about players for their whole careers, even with the basis of the narrative stop being true. That's actually a really interesting topic. I'm going to store that away, maybe even take a little picture of it. I actually kind of like that idea. You know, I've had an idea that's kind of similar to that in the past, but maybe that's a way to kind of expand on that idea a little bit. I will say the video I'm working on right now, I'm extremely excited for. And it's a little different from videos I've made in the past, but this is one I've wanted to make for a really long time, and I just think now is the right time to do it. And so writing it has been very easy. That's what I'll say. Like I'm sitting down at like the airport waiting for my flight. I'm like, holy crap, dude, like let's go. So more updates to come, obviously, but you know, we're trying to be more organized and structured for 2026, and already I'm liking the process. So yeah, that's what I'll say. But honestly, like I've got a few ideas on the back burner after this one, and I might have to evolve that idea a little bit and add in your little comment, because that is a very good point. And I think Goff really is the poster child of that. Not to mention like this guy, or like how long it took for us to like take Baker seriously or Geno seriously, right? Or Darnold seriously. Like there is a lot to squeeze out of that fruit, that topic, you know? I like it. Andrew Berg, welcome to the stream. I think Andrew Berg, I might have got your name wrong. Asking what's holding the Texans offense back. I mean, honestly, like the line has been better, but it's still not great. They could use maybe like the young guys like Higgins and Noel have like emerged a little bit as like receiving threats, but like they could maybe just like they don't have that Tank Dell level threat next to Nico that they had back in the day, you know. They could use a little more juice in the running game. I think their offensive coordinator's like all right. Overall, I think they're producing all right now. They're a defensive team. I think the offense is okay. It might not quite hit the levels that we thought it was going to a few years ago when it's like, holy crap, CJ Stroud is the best rookie ever, and they added Diggs. Like, might not be quite as good as that, but it could be good enough to win a lot of games in the playoffs. That's what I'll say. I think if you're a Texans fan, you got to be at least fairly happy with what the offense is at right now. Obviously, there's room to improve going into next season, but for right now, going to the playoffs, I think you're pretty happy with where it's at. Fair Champ says Bo Nix is probably a better game manager. While Stroud has more potential to be top 10, but needs an offensive line not made of paper mache. Yeah, I mean, that dude. It's like, oh, they went from like 32nd best offensive line to 24th. Like, yippee, Meanwhile, dude, Denver's offensive line just, oh my gosh, some of the pockets that they give. Dude, as soon as I said the back in my day, it's like, yeah, it wasn't that long ago. Anyways, let's get back to the quiz. Got sidetracked a little bit. It's all good. Cam Ward or Daniel Jones? This is actually one that I'm going to have to give a little bit of thought to. Because here's the thing with Cam Ward, right? I think all things considered, he's done what he can in this Titans offense and on this Titans team, like genuinely. Anytime I've watched the Titans, it's, oh, wow, Cam Ward is running for his life and he hits like a cool 15-yard pass, or like, oh, wow, Cam Ward throws a strike on a go ball and it's dropped, stuff like that. Like, oh, wow, like they're calling a screenplay and like no one's blocking anyone, oh, wow, Cam Ward's sacked in a second, But you can't there's been plenty of times where like he's still held on to the ball too long, or he's been a little reckless, just chucking it up, right? He is a rookie after all. You don't want to fall into the trap of like almost overrating how bad the situation is and being like, well, the situation is so bad that he's obviously like amazing, and like prioritizing that too much. You can't do that too much. Overall, I think he's been, for a rookie quarterback, like he's been all right. Like he gets like a B, Daniel Jones was kind of cooling off a little bit before he got hurt, and maybe this ties back into like the preconceived notions bias thing, but like, I think I will go Daniel Jones, but I don't feel great about it. I didn't feel great about that, but I'm going to go Daniel Jones. That's the first one where I didn't feel like 100% confident in which one I picked, but we'll go Daniel Jones. Come on, Lamar. See, like Lamar or Darnold. Here's what I'm saying. Like, even like factoring in this year, right? Because Lamar, here's what I'll say, man. I had Lamar. I made just like my own personal top 10 of every position before the season started. This was like back in July. And I had Lamar as my number one quarterback. I genuinely thought he was the best quarterback in the NFL. I thought he could have easily won MVP last year. I kind of get why he didn't, but like he totally could have won it, He had a ridiculous season. And just the way he looked every time he stepped on the field was unbelievable. Now, Lamar's been hurt this year, and that's fair to acknowledge. But this is probably like the worst year of his career since his rookie season, man. Like, he too is taking some bizarre sacks and just like doing too much, trying to play make, and just like falling way back. And maybe the injuries are starting to pile up just a little bit more. And it's like, maybe he's losing like half a step as a runner, I mean, he's not the runner he was in 2019 or anything. So you're seeing that add up a little bit. And like, make no mistake, he's a good pocket passer. He's a good thrower of the football. He's got a great arm, but like I think I have to put him over Darnold though, right? I still think it's hard for me to not have Lamar in my top 5, even with this year, even factoring that in. And I mean, for all we know, dude, he could come back healthy on Sunday and go out there and go stupid against the Steelers. He could throw for like 200, rush for 100, 3 total touchdowns. Ravens are in the playoffs, right? Like, I don't doubt he's still got that in him. I mean, you go back to even in a disappointing year, right? Like his week 1 performance against the Bills, like, dude, he looked unstoppable in that game, So I'm going to go Lamar, but it's slightly tougher this year just because Lamar has had a pretty disappointing year. And I think some of that actually is on him a little bit. So that's what I'll say. I know. You know what? I'm not saying it's going to happen, Michael. Maybe Tomlin and the boys clamp him up. Yeah. We do have some Steelers fans in here. Lamar should have won it last year, Sebastian is saying. I mean, like, looking at his numbers and just, like, watching him play, it's like he totally could have, dude. I will say, Allen's numbers weren't quite there. I will say, at least from the eye test, Allen was like equally jaw-dropping. But Lamar had one of the greatest statistical seasons ever. It is crazy. Man, that Ravens offense was so sick last year. But I don't know. Dude, I'm with Texans Super Bowl. That would be sick. Brent asking, does Mr. UNC Bill leave UNC to find an NFL job this offseason? I would be shocked, honestly. I feel like his NFL reputation, really his reputation as a whole, is kind of pretty low right now. And I feel like a lot of teams just don't want to deal with that. I would be surprised, personally. You never know, but I won't count on it. Jackson Dart or Caleb Williams? All right, I don't know how many of you are this online, but someone on Twitter maybe a month and a half ago posted a poll like, who would you rather start your franchise with, Jackson Dart or Caleb Williams? And it was like almost 50-50. And I'm sorry, man. Dart's been like better than I expected. I'm sorry, dude. It's Caleb, and it's not close. Caleb is one of the biggest wild cards to me on this list on like where he might end up. But I still think maybe like Caleb versus Dak. Like I'm gonna go Dak, right? That would be putting too much stock into future upside if I were to take Caleb over Dak. It's Dak. Dak or Herbert's a fun one, though. This is a good one right here. This is one that I've had a different answer for, I think, every time I've done this quiz, man. This one is really, really tough. Both these quarterbacks are playing some of the best ball of their career right now. These are two of my favorite quarterbacks to watch in the NFL, especially my man Dak. Dude. I always want to say Dak, but then I just think of like Herbert's best plays and then I just get suckered in a little bit more, right? I mean, here's what I'll say. I think there's some people online right now that are kind of pushing this like Justin Herbert MVP drum, and it's like, okay, let's slow down. Like, it is truly incredible that the Chargers are going to make the playoffs and have 11 wins with the way their offensive line is. Like, and make no mistake, Herbert is carrying, but like, all right. Let's go. Like, let's take a breath for a little bit. Herbert is probably in a slightly worse situation, and I think he's got a little bit more ability. But, dude, Dak is just so good. And I love Dak so much. I'm going to go Herbert just barely. That one hurt me a little bit, but I think that's the right call, dude. Someone, I can't remember who wrote this, but someone wrote this like the other day. Like, genuinely, when Justin Herbert is at his best, and this might sound stupid, like this might sound like crazy glaze or whatever, but like when Herbert's at his best, it's like, oh my gosh, this is Tom Brady who can also rip off 30-yard scrambles. Like, dude, he checks every single box, dude. He really does, and he just always seems to get hurt, right? You're totally right, Pear Champ. He's playing with a broken hand, and like, yeah. Dude, I mean, it would never happen, right? But all these like, oh, to the Vikings theories, like, dog, Jefferson would go for 2,000 yards with Herbert. It would be unbelievable. But yeah, we'll go Herbert. Gino or Jalen, I mean, it's got to be Hurts, right? A year ago, I would have said otherwise, but it's Hurts. Hurts or Mayfield? This is an interesting one, too. I honestly think these players are pretty even. And again, I think they've got pretty similar games, all things considered. I honestly think that, like, these two players are pretty alike in just the way they play and, like, the caliber of player I think they are. Oh, I might go Hurts. I think I'm going to go Hurts over Baker. That one's close, but I think they've got similar strengths and weaknesses. I mean, they're both even, like, powerful but not speedy runners, you know? They can throw it down the field a little bit, but sometimes they struggle with taking sacks or throwing over the middle. Ooh, that was a tough one, but I'll go Hurts. Brent's saying Geno. Thoughts on the meme that Geno Smith controls the world? I don't know that I've seen that, honestly. I'm not familiar with that meme. Geno Smith controls the world. Well, if he does, good for him. I mean, yeah, Texans line is still is rough. Yeah. All right. Bryce Young or Michael Penix? I'm going to go Bryce. I've never been the biggest Penix guy, to be honest. And I do think I don't always get things right. Believe me. I've had plenty of bad takes, especially like involving this division. I will at least pat myself on the back here. I said going into the season, like, there's kind of this assumption that like Penix is going to come in and the Falcons offense is going to be so much better than it was with Kirk. And now I think we've seen this season, it's like, that's crazy. Like, the offense is slightly better with Kirk still, I don't know, man. Like, my Penix take is that he's too old and too experienced to be this raw as far as like his inaccuracy and like bad footwork and stuff. Like, he's just too old to have those problems. It's tough, right? I will say, I'm not even like Mr. Oh my gosh, Bryce Young is amazing. Like, he's so streaky, and I'm rooting for the kid. Like, he's had to deal with so much adversity early on in his career. He seems like a great guy. And every once in a while, he'll have a good game that suckers you back in. But I will be completely honest with you. No disrespect. Most times when I watch the Panthers, you know what my first thought is? Man, this offense would be so sick if they had a real QB. Like, if they just had like a little bit better quarterback play, this offense would just rip, dude. Their offense would be sick. Like, the receivers are there, the line is there, the running game is there, and it's like, Bryce is still like, I just can't get that image of him like trying to check down and he's like on his tippy toes, like some quarterbacks, size doesn't really affect him as much, or their lack of size. You can really feel with Bryce sometimes though, especially when he gets heated up. Like, he just struggles to like hang in the pocket and like, I don't know. When he can move around a little bit and he's got like lanes to throw on the run and create, he's not bad. Like, here's the thing. He's not a bad quarterback by any means. Dude, I mean, Ron, that's like a fantasy of mine. Panthers with Dak? Come on now. I'll be sick. But I will still go Bryce, but I'm not anticipating Bryce being like super high on this list, to be completely honest with you. I think the Panthers, even if they make the playoffs, they got to have an uncomfortable conversation about the quarterback position going into next year. And like, it's tough because if they make the playoffs, they'll probably stick with him. It's like, oh, dude, this team is honestly close. Like, they're close to something. They need to maybe make a few additions on defense if they got a real quarterback. Like, like they could have a real fun offense next year, but we'll see. We'll see. Not a big Penix guy, me neither. That's why I got a wife. Let's go. That's crazy. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with being a Penix guy either, if you are. So apparently there's some controversy because the Falcons staff have been giving Penix the Matt Eberflus coaching staff treatment. Dude, see, that's crazy because this is the same coaching staff that was like, well, we saw the tape, and even though we signed Kirk, like, we need to have him. Like, we're not picking 8 ever again, so we need to get... It's like, why would you do that then? Like, why would you give him the Eberflus treatment if you're like, yeah, this is our guy. Like, we're staking our entire existence on him. That's crazy. That's crazy. Ron says, if I pick Bryce over Brock, you're leaving my fandom. No, I'm not doing that, dude. Brock continues to win me over a little bit more this season, right? Like, that game he played on Sunday, don't get me wrong, there were still a few silly moments, right? Like that pick six and stuff, right? But I think he's fully starting to realize who he is, and like his creation ability, it cannot be understated how big it is for this 49ers offense. And while I still think that like, I wish he just maybe got the ball out a little bit faster. I wish he just ran the Shanahan offense just like a little bit cleaner. Like, sometimes he's a little slow to things. Like, we all saw that touchdown to use check. That was sick, dude. Like, he can play. He can play. I will say, I was not a big fan of the contract that the 49ers gave him this offseason. I'm still not saying, like, oh my gosh, he's a top 10 quarterback. But, like, all right, I'll allow it. I'll allow that deal. Okay, he could play a little bit. He could play. Pick Brock here, too. No, I can't do that. Here's the thing. Before he went down, Mahomes was having a genuinely great season. Like, it cannot be emphasized enough how well Mahomes was playing, despite all the craziness going on with the Chiefs, and their record wasn't that great. But, like, statistically speaking, or just even watching him play, like, this was the best Mahomes year in a while. And that's why it's such a shame that he went down. Like, he was truly trying to pull off, like, a legendary carry job with this offense. And he was doing his part, man. None of this Chiefs, like, missing the playoffs, none of that is on him, dude. It's a shame this year went, at least for Mahomes. I don't necessarily mind, like, seeing some fresh faces in the playoffs, but at least from, like, a Mahomes standpoint, It's a shame what happened this year. He got sold big time. It does help, but it's also like the weapons have been stripped away a little bit too, right? This is not the super team that they had back in 2023, So the coach is still there. They've still got some guys, but they've at least there's been some turnover. I think the biggest thing that's impressed me is like that offensive line has turned over so much, but this is where you're really starting to see his running ability shine, and that like the protection isn't as good as it was a few years ago, but he can just dance and make people miss and then just flick the ball. It's like, okay, all right, here we go. Yeah. I can't pick Rattler over Tua, can I? I mean, that would just be stupid. I can't. Part of me wants to, but I can't. We'll do Shuck over Tua, though. I mean, Tua is going to be pretty low on this list. Yeah. Mahomes is generational talent. Team is just in a silent need of rebuild. Oh, dude. I mean, like you want to talk about a team that has tough questions to answer this offseason. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah. Yeah. New league for the Panthers with Goff. Oh, man. The good old Panthers. Shuck or May? I mean, come on. Like, May, I might say Drake May is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL at this point. I might. I don't know. That's tough. It's a crowded field to be in the top 5, but I would say it. I would say Goff over Murray pretty easily. Goff just plays the position so much better than him. Goff or Love is an interesting one. This was one that I had in the back of my mind here before I started this quiz. Like, what are going to be some interesting ones? This one I think is interesting. In the past, I've been pretty quick to say Love over Goff. I'm such a big Love guy. I really am. And I'm going to go Love. I am. I think it's incredibly close. Like, honestly, these two might end up like back to back on my list if I had to guess. Like, I think there's a real shot. I think they're in the same tier of player. I still think Love is just a little bit better under pressure. Just has a little bit liver of an arm, a little bit better of a runner. It's fair to criticize like Love might have a bad game every once in a while, or like the bozo gene or whatever. But also like, again, most of you have probably watched my video at this point, right? I take stock into some of these more like in the trenches, rbsdm.com type of stats, right? And it's not just charts or numbers, but it's just like, it's at least a decent reflection of like playing winning football, right? Stats are stats. It is just kind of interesting though, how like Jordan Love is always near the top of like EPA and success rate charts, right? And then you watch the Packers play and it's like, oh wow, this dude never gets sacked and he like makes all these sick plays and like, wow, the Packers always have a good offense when Jordan Love is out there. I know, Sebastian, I know. I'm sorry. I am going to go, dude. I mean, come on. Like, Love is really good. Like, I think that's fair to say at this point, right? Like, I think Love is for sure going to end up in my top 10. Like, he was kind of playing at an MVP level, at least for a little bit. And the Packers have a lot of different things going on right now, but like, he's a really good player, dude. I mean, no, that's like Goff. I mean, Goff, that's true. Goff does have a stinker every once in a while, too. That's totally fair. But I really like Love. I don't like him enough to pick him over Stafford, but I really like Jordan Love. Oh, Lord. Coughing baby versus coughing baby. Oh. Okay. I'm going to probably take JJ, honestly. Oh, I don't feel great about that, but I mean, like Fields is who he is at this point. I hope JJ plays this final game of the regular season. I really do, because I really like he was starting to show at least some signs of growth, and I think like it's very like as someone that has watched all of Vikings games, right? Like I am in fact tapped into like JJ McCarthy's development, and yes, like. Okay, it wasn't exactly against a murderer's row of defenses, but it was nice to see, him like not short circuit every third drop back and like just look a little more comfortable, right? And he's always had some good athletic ability. He's always had a strong arm. Like It's nice to see him like actually play some good games. Like, oh wow, we can score 30 points. Like that's crazy, you know? He still needs to work on that connection with Jefferson. Like those two just like gotta like rent a beach house and do nothing but play catch all summer. But like, you know, it's getting there. He still might not be good. Like I think that's he still might not be good, but like he's no longer Jamarcus Russell. I'll take Rodgers over McCarthy though. I mean, come on. We'll take Burrow over Rodgers. Bo Nix, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, come on, baby. It's got to be the prince who was promised. Hey, hey, hey. Shout out everyone who never, ever sold their stocks of Trevor Lawrence. This is our time right here, man. This season, this is our time. Let's enjoy this. Man, there's a lot of Jaguars heads. There's a lot of Trevor heads. They're feeling very, very vindicated right now. Life is sweet, baby. Let's go. We're taking Lawrence over Stroud, too. Lawrence is going to end up pretty darn high on this list. How many quarterbacks are playing better football than Trevor Lawrence right now? It's just, it's just kind of crazy. All it took was a new head coach and bringing in like a dependable wide receiver in Jacoby Myers. It's like, wow, this Jaguars offense is awesome. Wow, Trevor Lawrence is leading a prolific offense. It's kind of crazy. Oh, and some of the plays that he makes rolling out to his left and just throwing corner routes on the run. It's like, come on, man. This is what we were waiting for. This is what we were waiting for. Let's go. Fair question from Caden. How concerned am I about him having this many injuries early on? I think that is a very fair concern to have. Similar to Jaden Daniels, it's not like J.J. McCarthy is super slight, but he's not the biggest guy either. I think he's like 6'4", which is kind of surprising, but he doesn't really seem to be built super bulky or strong, right? And I'll give him credit. He's a tough guy, and he's not afraid to hang in pockets, but he also just has a tendency to take hits that he doesn't need to take because sometimes he takes a while to get the ball out, right? And so you've got just kind of like a perfect storm for him, always getting these big hits laid on him. And I mean, yeah, it sucks that like we can't see this guy play, and like we're going to be going into year 3 now, and it's like I don't know if he's good or not, or if he'll be good or not, That is very concerning. And I think like if you wanted to use that as a justification for the Vikings bringing in another quarterback, I kind of get it, because it's same thing with like Anthony Richardson. It's like at some point, like we say like, oh, they need reps. Well, then they got to get those reps. Like, like something's got to give. So that has been one of the more frustrating parts of this whole experience, right? Like in theory, he should be on about like, in theory, this should be like probably like realistically game 25 of J.J. McCarthy. And it's like we should have a pretty clear idea of who he is. And instead he's played like 8 games. It's like, yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Shedeur, Cam Ward. I'm going to say Cam Ward pretty easily here. Shedeur is going to come in pretty low on this list. Would he be last place? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I'm trying to think of other quarterbacks on here. Shedeur might come in last, which it is what it is. Nothing against the guy. Hey, he's fun to watch. He's made the Browns interesting. I don't know if he'll be last. He might be, though. But I'm happy for Trevor, too, man. I'm happy for Trevor, too. Aaron Rodgers might be the best one-time Super Bowl winner of all time, and he's saying this while thinking the guy's overrated. Ron is saying, dude, I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think of other quarterbacks that have – it's a weird club to be in where, like, you've won one, but you haven't won multiple as an all-time great, right? Like, I'm trying to think of other one-time winners right now. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, he has to be, right? I mean, the only other guys that would be in the conversation would be, like, Breeze. I would have Rodgers over Breeze. There's Stafford. I'm taking Rodgers over Stafford. Brett Favre just won, right? Yeah, I would say Rodgers over Favre. Yeah, there you go. Am I taking Geno over Sanders? I guess. Probably. Yeah, probably. But Mark Rippon. Oh, yeah, Steve Young. Great calls right there. Steve Young. Yeah. Mark Rippon. Russell Wilson. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's some good names in there. But Cam Ward or Sam Darnold? Sam, pretty easily. I don't know if Sam will quite crack the top 10, but Sam might be like 13 or 14. He's been good this year. He's been good. Brent has to go. He's getting his iPhone battery replaced. Good luck, man. Hey, Let's go. We're rooting for you. Len Dawson. Yeah, I wonder who he won it against. As if I was alive for that. Oh, guys, don't you know that the Vikings had both these guys on their roster last year? Could you imagine how good the Vikings would be if they had these guys on their roster right now? I can't believe the Vikings had both these guys on their roster. I am gonna take Darnold over Daniel, right? These are the two like fun stories of the season. Like, wow, these quarterbacks are good. Darnold, I think, has always been a little bit better than Daniel Jones, right? And I think that eventually materializes. Again, Darnold has cooled off a little bit, but Daniel Jones is cooling off too. And I think maybe a little bit more of the Seahawks' success is driven by Darnold than Daniel Jones drove the Colts' success. You know, I know. I'm the one bringing it up. I know. Geno Smith or Jackson Dart. Oh. There's still part of me that wants to say Geno, but like he's just been so bad this year, I can't, right? Like, no, it's Dart. It's Dart. It's Dart. Dart or Baker, still go Baker. I know Pear Champ was saying in chat earlier about like, RIP the Baker Mayfield MVP talk. Yeah, those first 6 weeks or something, and if I could be real dorky and be like, well, he had a lot of interception luck, like, yeah, but when you watch, it's like he did get away with a lot of risky throws and some of the regression. Okay, it makes sense. I will say to this extent though, it's been crazy. Like this is one of the worst stretches Baker's had in a while now. It's looked a little bit more like late Browns Baker, and he's been hurt too, but like. You'd think, I get he wants to be out there for his team, but like you think back to 2021, Baker's last year with the Browns. He was obviously hurt. He's playing through it, and just like it's not going well. He's hurting the team. I don't know. He's obviously better than like how he's looked in the last 6 games or whatever when Tampa's been like 1-5, but he probably wasn't quite MVP level either. Baker or Caleb? I'm going to go Caleb, though. I'll take Caleb here. I'll take Caleb over Hurts, too. And I'm going to take Caleb over Jaden. Get a little Caleb run right there. Again, he's a big wild card. And I'm not, again, this is not me factoring in, like, future upside. Because I think in the future, like, we do this again 2 years from now, Caleb might be, like, in the top 5. But he's not, even as of right now, for, like, a single game or even going into one season, I would take Caleb over all those guys. Penix or Rattler? Oh, why do I want to take Rattler? Dude, why is Penix going to be like 30 on here? Why do I want to take Rattler? Screw it. I'm going to do it. It's like, even like this, it's like Bryce Young or Spencer Rattler. Like, genuinely. I would love to see Spencer Rattler play like 3 games in this Panthers offense and just see what happened, And again, I don't want to get too much into the weeds of like, well, situation versus situation. I don't know. Rattler's got a better build than Young. He's got such a strong arm. He's just as good of an athlete. Why do I want to say Rattler? This might be a stupid take. Like... And don't get me wrong, Rattler can have some bad turnovers. He's got a little bit of a bozo gene in him. Like he can force things in there maybe a little bit too much. Sometimes he writes checks that his arm can't cash. Am I crazy for wanting to take Spencer Rattler over Bryce Young? Am I big braining this too much? I need to answer for that. Oh, taking Caleb over a guy that's been to 2 Super Bowls. Talking about Hurts. Here's what I'll say. I think Hurts will end up all right on this list. I've never been a big Jalen Hurts guy, to be honest. And I just like, it's fair to say, like, yes, the Eagles have won with Hurts, and that should count for something, right? Especially if like you're an Eagles fan. But it's also fair to say, like, man, like, dude, those teams were loaded. Like, and it's not even just like, oh, those teams were loaded and like they were carrying Hurts and like his stats aren't like that, like his stats were good, but like you shouldn't believe him. Like if you go back to that playoff run last year, Hurts played pretty well in the Super Bowl. Dude, like he was like bad in the Packers game in the wild card round. He was bad in that Rams game. Both those games, like their offense did almost nothing, and yet they still won because their defense just went nuclear, right? Or like Saquon had a sick play, like so it's fair. Like sure, like he's been to 2 Super Bowls, but like he's it's not even like he's kind of got this reputation of like oh he's like rises to the occasion in the playoffs. It's like he's had a few nice Super Bowl performances, but like the Eagles very easily could have like lost in the wild card round last year, or they could have very easily lost that Rams game. And like, if we're gonna be honest, Hurts would have been the reason why. Like, so like the good and the bad. Ultimately, he comes out to like I don't know QB 17 for me personally, but that's just me. That's just me. Bryce Young set the record for most passing yards for the Panthers in a game. Wait, did he really? Did he really? I actually didn't know that. You know what? This is stupid. I'm taking Rattler. That's stupid. We'll go Purdy over Rattler, though. I mean, then Purdy over Tua. Purdy or Shuck, we'll go Purdy. Purdy or May. This is where the buck stops for Purdy. I mean, hey, both these guys, good creators. May's arm is just different, though. May is very Herberty and just the build and the way he plays and everything. I mean, oh, baby. I mean, look. Purdy's a good player, and I'm not trying to knock him too much. Like, Jen, I'm trying to say some nice things about Brock Purdy. Probably the biggest thing that will keep him out of, like, this elite tier of, like, the Mays and the Allens and the Herberts and the Loves and, like, the Lamars and the Mahomes, right? Like, Purdy just doesn't have the arm that can unlock every single piece of the field the way that, like, a May can. And what I mean, like, believe me, arm strength is not everything, right? But arm strength also just doesn't equate to like how far can you throw a ball in the air. It also equates to fitting the ball into tight windows, being able to throw like hard bullets and like throw all these different routes, right? Purdy's arm just doesn't threaten defenses the way that like Drake Mays does, you know? That's where you sometimes see Purdy run into trouble or like why they've had struggles in the red zone in the past is like it is what it is. His arm isn't like Drake May level, and believe me, you could still have an awesome offense around it, right? The 49ers have done a really good job building an awesome offense around it, and he deserves a lot of credit, especially this year, for how good he's been. But I'm going to say May. If he goes to another Super Bowl and wins, will I revise my pick? I mean, it depends. It depends on how it goes, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. I'm the Michael Jordan of dodging fraud allegations in chat. Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh. It says, YouTube, I got to keep things family friendly. Did I have an unfamily friendly moment that I didn't even realize? You know, I try to, right? And I have always said, like, honestly, I have nothing against profanity personally, but, like, I just try to. But maybe that's always been a fear of mine is that, like, I'll just be talking and I'll just, like, black out and, like, say like F or something. It's not the end of the world, right? But hey, Panthers, let's go, baby. May or Mahomes? We'll say Mahomes. Fields or Kyler? And we'll take Kyler over 9. Kyler or Rodgers is an interesting one. I honestly, this one is giving me trouble. I'll say Rodgers. I don't feel great about it. Oh, they're getting a little spicy. Things getting age restricted. I got you. No, you're right. Like it. Then here's like you're right, Ron. Like I'll never like just be like, you know what? One day this is gonna be profane. Like exactly. You know, I'm trying to be me. You know, just be like, one day. This is the stream where I say the F word 5 times. Like, I don't think that'll happen. Jake from State Farm is asking, am I the kind of guy who memorizes and remembers useless stats and facts? Yes, that is absolutely me. I am, in fact, that type of guy. And you know what? I think those type of guys are awesome. Let's go, baby. We need more guys like that. But that is absolutely me. Yes. Ron saying that's why Aikman was so dangerous in the 90s. He wasn't a super long throw, but he had a shotgun in the mid and short game. Oh yeah, right? I mean, that's a type of arm strength, like arm strength, arm talent. It's more than just like throwing 60-yard bombs. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, what's up, Wolf? Appreciate you tuning in. Shador is going to be number 1 next year. We'll see. We'll see. He thinks Dante Moore experiences a draft slide and goes to the Vikings. Dude, if we got Dante Moore, I'd be over the moon. I actually I've started to dive into this draft class a little bit, and I've just like watched Oregon like here and there. I haven't watched a ton, but from what I have seen, dude, Dante Moore in purple, sign me up. I think he and Mendoza are the guys for this class. Dante Moore, man. Yeah. There's no way. I mean, that would be so sick, but we'll see. But I like Dante Moore a lot. That's crazy, Caden. That is crazy. The slur tier list is crazy. That's insane. I will take Jared Goff over Aaron Rodgers. Oh, man. Jake from State Farm remembered 8 years ago he memorized all the starting QBs for every Super Bowl matchup. That's sick. That's sick, dude. Let's go. Timeout time. Nah, dude. Let me look at Burrow or Goff? I'll go Burrow, but like honestly, it's close. It's close. It's close. Love or Burrow, will go Burrow. Burrow or Stafford. See, I feel like these two might be back to back in my list too. I'm going to go Stafford. I'm going to go Stafford over Burrow. It's really close, but like, dude, and here's the thing. Stafford has been on a heater this year, but if you ask me, genuine unbiased opinion, like he's really been at this level ever since he got to the Rams. But this year, like the touchdowns are going his way a little bit more, and like the team is just maybe a little bit better around him. I don't know, man. It's really close. Burrow is really good too, man. I mean, we're talking probably about like QB4 versus QB5 here or something like that. We'll go Stafford. We gotta go, Mr. Backwards Hat. But oh, Sebastian was ripping off the quarterbacks. Let's go. Bo Nix or Shador? We'll go Bo Nix for sure. We'll go Bo Nix over Cam Ward too. I feel like these two are pretty close, but we'll go Bo Nix. Bo Nix or Daniel Jones? We'll go Bo Nix. We'll go Bo Nix. We'll go Darnold over Nix though. I feel pretty good about that. Nix is another one of those guys where like his arm maybe doesn't quite unlock every area of the field. And I mean, I say that as like he's got a few good deep balls in his bag. He really does. Like you think about that bomb he hit against the Browns last year, he can even throw it downfield a little bit. But for him, it's more the intermediate area that like still waiting to see a little bit more. But Burrow is better than Goff. Stafford and Burrow is tough. Yeah, I'm with you, Ron. I'm with you, man. We'll go Darnold over Bo Nix, though. Darnold or Stroud? This one is tough. You could honestly make a pretty convincing case for Darnold. I will say, and it is worth noting, I haven't talked about this yet. I think one of the biggest reasons why we've seen Darnold at least cool down a little bit statistically, it is worth noting, like, if you dive into the stats or if you watch the Seahawks offense, there is at least a little bit of a drop-off when you get Seattle out of their normal script where it's they set up third and short because they just run so much. Even though they're not a great run team, they can set up all these short down and distances on third down, and they can really lean on that play action, right? We've seen like when it's third and longer, even like 3rd and 8, if you take away that play action aspect of it, or if you take away JSN a little bit, things bog down a little bit more for Seattle. Like that Darnold game, like Thursday night against the Rams, give Darnold all the credit in the world. He was nails in overtime. That throw he hit to Kupp was awesome. That whole drive, he was awesome. It is also fair to say, like, he wasn't great in that game either. You know, we've seen him at a few bad games. Again, I maintain he's been about the player he was in Minnesota last year. That probably comes out to like QB 15 with like with the upside to like have a few good games, but also like the floor to maybe have a bad game here and there. I'll go Stroud over Darnold, but I think it's really close. Oh, that one's tough. We'll go Lamar over Stroud. Lamar or Trevor? Lamar or Trevor? Shador is better than Shador. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what's tough, right? There's no doubt in my mind this season, only this season, strictly this season, Trevor Lawrence, not just more productive, he's been a better player than Lamar Jackson has. But we're looking at like a handful of games here. Can we really let that outweigh everything else that we've seen from Lamar, right? That's what's so tough. Do I really want to jump the gun that much? That's what's really tricky about this. I genuinely don't know. I mean, Chad, what are you thinking here? How would you pick this one? I think I'm leaning Lamar, but that feels like it's lame, right? Like at some point it's just like, oh, this is last year's list. And Trevor's playing so well right now. But can I really just pick? I mean, like, okay, here's the thing, right? And I say all this, Lamar has still had good games this year. It's not even like every single time Lamar has played, he's been bad. He's still had good games this year, you know? But he's also been not quite as dominant. I don't know. And Trevor had a rough start, you know. I said Lamar's top 5. Am I ready to say Trevor's top 5? Oh, man. I know. It's tough, right? You know, it's tough. And, oh, my ad blocker is absolutely on. Absolutely. No question. Michael's saying Lamar. Ron is saying Lamar's prime might be over. I worry about that a little bit. There's a chance. That's why this game on Sunday is so interesting too, right? Nah, you're right. You guys are right. I got to go Lamar. We'll go Josh over Lamar, though. I think that's one thing I will change about last year. Last year, I would have said Lamar over Josh. We'll say Josh over Lamar now. I feel pretty good about that. There we go. It evens out a little bit. It's not just last year's list. Penix or Geno? Oh, boy. Excuse me. Oh, yeah, I was sick this past week, too. I had the flu when I was in Fargo. That was fun. But we beat it, dude. You know, the rule was my dad, who's a pediatrician, as well as like my actual doctor, I should probably add too. Not my dad is not my actual doctor. The actual doctor that I saw, as well as my dad, said, you know, if you have the flu, you need to be fever free for 24 hours before you can like go out in public and stuff, right? And I was going to that Vikings game on Thursday, and I started feeling sick on that Monday, and then I went in on that Tuesday because I just felt horrible, dude. I locked in. I had so much orange juice, so much Gatorade, so much water, like 5 different medicines I was taking. I absolutely locked in, and we were fever free for over 24 hours by game time, baby. We went to that Vikings game, but sometimes my throat still gets a little dry. I still cough a little bit. It's like, yeah, I've been like slightly sick the whole week, but we're good. We're good, but dude, it's going around. I know a few people in Fargo that got sick. A lot of people back here got sick, especially at the place that I work at. You know, yeah, it's going around a little bit right now. But back to Penix versus Geno. I'm going to say Geno. We'll say Bryce over Geno. Bryce or Dart? Bryce by a hair. We'll go Baker over Bryce. Rattler or Baker. We'll go Baker. We can't have Spencer Rattler above Baker Mayfield. Excuse me. That was a good cough right there, though. I don't know if that was a little gross. I don't know how much y'all heard of that, how much detail the microphone picked up. That was a great cough right there, though. I needed that. Going after a cough is crazy, but we just did that. Watching sports when you're feverish is amazing. It's an acid trip. You know, I've never really I've never really watched sports while feverish before. I might need to try that. Let me just lick a few doorknobs and get sick again and then like watch week 18 while I'm feverish. Perfectly normal cough. Let's go. We'll take that. We'll take that. Baker or Tua? We'll go Baker over Tua. Tyler Shucker, Baker Mayfield. I am going to lean Baker just because it's been so little for Shuck. And like, it's fair to acknowledge, like, Shuck has had some not so great games too. Let's revisit this in a year. That's what I'll say. But we'll go Baker. We'll go Purdy over Baker. Purdy or Hurts? We'll go Purdy, honestly. Purdy or Daniel? We're going Purdy. Purdy or Caleb? I think I might take Caleb over Purdy, though. This was one that I was thinking about a lot. You know, I knew this stream was coming up this week. I was honestly thinking about this one right here a lot while watching that Sunday night game. And I think it's honestly pretty close. And I think you could argue, like, Purdy's maybe a little bit more rounded out and consistent right now. Because, again, like, some of those Caleb misses can be frustrating. It's true. And I do think there is a tendency with Caleb and other players, but I think it really manifests itself with Caleb in that, like, all of his highest highs get gassed up so crazy and it's so great. And then it's easy to just, like, kind of brush aside, like, oh, he had a bad throw there. Oh, he still took a bad sack there, you know? Sometimes I think that, like, the lower end outcomes for Caleb in any given play or any given game get brushed aside or glossed over because, like, wow, like, that throw he had was sick. That being said, it really seems like he's starting to turn the corner, man. I mean, his deep accuracy is day and night different from last season to this season. His ability to avoid pressure, day and night difference from last season to this season. If we can just start hitting a few more of those easy throws, he's vaulting to the moon. But even as of right now, even with that baked in, even knowing like he might have a bad miss here or there, the scrambling ability is so good. The arm is ridiculous. He's a guy that can threaten every blade of grass. I'm going to go Caleb. We'll go May over Caleb, though, because, I mean, May, you could say all the same things about May, but he's, like, actually put it together, too. You know, he's actually, like, he's really starting to round out. Whereas, like, Caleb is like, we're really close. We're not quite there. May is here, dude. May is here, and he's ready. He's so good, and he was supposed to be ours. No. May and Dak is a tough one. And I say this as Mr. Dak, but I think I got to go May, dude. Like, I mean, he might win MVP, and rightfully so. Like, he's been incredible this season, dude. May and Herbert is tough. Man. May and Herbert is like... Because here's the thing. Herbert obviously gets his boost from his, you know, environment being poor. It's not like May is playing on some unbelievable offense either, right? It's not like the Patriots receivers are amazing. It's not like their line is amazing. It's been better. It's been improved, but I'm going to give the slight edge to Herbert because, again, just who I think is the better player. I'm going to give the slight edge to Herbert, but it's tough, dude. It's tough picking against May. Herbert is so good. You're right, Ron. I mean, for football's sake, can we please get Herbert like a good offensive line? He's got the receivers now. Like, I honestly think, like, Ladd, Quentin Johnston, it's not like the best group in the world, but it's good enough. It's good. It's not bad, you know. Can we please just get this man clean pockets? I mean, like, if we get Slater and Alt back next year, let's get a new guard for the Chargers maybe. Strap in, folks. Here we go. We'll go Mahomes over her. I mean, it's Mahomes, right? Shador Fields. I mean, Fields is a better runner than Shador by a lot, and that might like raise his dude. But like Shador has at least like had a few good games though, dude. This is what's tough. Like, yeah, but he's had some disastrous moments too. Like, I'm going to go Fields, dude. Shador might actually be last. I'm going to go Fields. We'll go Cam Ward over Fields. That's pretty easy. We'll go Cam Ward over J.J. McCarthy. That's pretty easy. Cam Ward or Kyler Murray is a little interesting. Yeah. Herbert is just a little tougher than Burrow. No, that's fair. And I mean, Herbert's just a little bigger than Burrow, too, right? Yeah. Drake May is the third best QB in the NFL behind Stafford and Shador. Oh, Shador. Kyler Murray or Cam Ward is tougher than it probably should be. I think it's Kyler, but I don't know. We'll go Kyler or Daniel Jones. We'll go Kyler. Kyler Murray or Bo Nix. Here's where things get tough. Instinctively, I want to say Kyler Murray, but I might actually lean Bo Nix. I know we were talking about the Bover throws earlier with Perna and everything. Oh. We'll go Bo. We'll go Rodgers over Bo Nix, though. That's correct. Bo Nix is going to end up a little bit higher on this list than I thought he would. That one was tough. We'll go Darnold over Rodgers. We'll go, okay, here we go, Sebastian. Here we go. I promised you I'd talk about this. Look, Darnold has had a great season, right? And I'm assuming you're alluding to this when you're talking about the Pro Bowl, right? Darnold making the Pro Bowl over Goff. I think Goff is unequivocally the better quarterback than Sam Darnold is, though. And to boot, like, the production is, like, even, if not, like, a little bit more in Goff's favor. I think Goff is a more confident passer. Again, Darnold might be able to move a little bit better, but, like, it is crazy to say about Jared Goff, but, like, he is the more stable, unfazed quarterback, right? Like, and it's just, like, dude, I'm telling you, like, I cannot say enough good things about Jared Goff's season this year. I truly, genuinely think this has been the best season of his career. I mean, I remember watching that Lions-Ravens game, Monday Night Football, streaming that. I'm like, holy crap. Like, dude, Jared Goff is balling right now. I was like, dude, that is one of the best games he's played in his career. And even like that Vikings game I was at, Vikings-Lions on Thursday. Look, the stat line for Goff was not great by any means. And I don't think that like he secretly played some great game. He had no chance, though. He had absolutely no chance whatsoever behind that offensive line. I mean, like, Flores is just like, we're going to blitz the pants off of them. And, like, they had no, like, the line just had no answer for it. You can put a little bit of it on Goff, but, like, man, I had a pretty good view up there, right? I had the all 22 seats, so I was able to kind of see everything play out. From my vantage point, and in my opinion, there's really not much Jared Goff could have done. And I think, I'll tell you, he's played some phenomenal games this season. It is so impressive that he's still been able to put up the numbers that he has and make the plays that he has after losing those offensive linemen and losing Ben Johnson. That was what everyone was scared of like a few years ago, you know? Oh, Goff is back, but how will it go when Ben Johnson leaves? Here you go, dude. He's impressed me a lot this year. I'll take Goff over Stroud too, honestly. I'm probably going to go Lawrence here between Lawrence and Goff just because once you really start getting to that like high end on the rankings, right? Fair or not, and that it sucks. Like it's such a tired talking point at times to say like, well, Goff's not an athlete. He can't move. But I will say when it gets down to like QB7 versus like QB9 or whatever, that is the difference, right? Like that is ultimately what might keep Jared Goff out of being like if Jared Goff was mobile, if Jared Goff had like the athleticism of Patrick Mahomes, this might be like the best quarterback in the league, you know? That's what keeps him from being like in that tier, and instead he's merely the ninth best guy or whatever. So I'll take Lawrence over Goff, but it's close, and that's coming from me. It's close. Oh, man. Love or Lawrence? These are two of my guys right here, honestly. These are two guys that I've planted my flag into. Pause. Love or Lawrence? This one is tough. I might lean Jordan Love, dude, Jordan Love is going to end up so high on this list. But he's good. He's so good. I'll go Jordan Love. Oh. Love or Lamar? We'll go Lamar. Lamar or Burrow? See? Here's where I might factor this in. Honestly, these two are neck and neck. Oh, I'll go Burrow over Lamar this year. I would not have done this last year. We're going to go Burrow over Lamar. We'll go Allen over Burrow. We're really starting to get down to it now. Oh, here we go, baby. Stafford or Josh? I mean, you got to go Josh, right? And I love Stafford. You got to go Josh. Shador or Penix? It's like, all right, we're getting the high end of the quiz. Now let's go back to the bottom. Oh, man. Shador or Penix? Penix, I guess. Yeah. Dog, Shador right really be last place. I'm sorry, Sanders family. Penix or Fields? We'll go Penix. At least he's got a strong arm. He can hit some crazy throws. Okay. We will go 9 over Penix. Truly, right? If there's at least one thing that we got right, the Vikings were well, I mean, Penix got drafted before McCarthy, right? If there's at least one thing we got right, we ended up with a better quarterback than Penix. Oh, I don't know. It's not like either of these options are great right now, but we'll go 9. We'll go Geno over 9, though. I'll say that. But Parachamp is saying, hey, Doc, I'll post my QB list in the Discord. Should I post in general, or should there be a tier list ranking chat made? Honestly, you could just throw it in general for now. Maybe at some point I'll make like a ranking chat or something, but you could just throw it in general. That's awesome, though. I'm interested to see that. I'm excited. Let's go. 9 redemption arc. Oh, yeah, baby. Bills have blown a ton of close games this year. Some of that is Josh's fault. I mean, that missed 2-point conversion on Sunday was brutal, man. It was there, and he didn't have the greatest game in general. The Bills offense has been so weird this year, man. And look, the receivers are horrible. They're not good, but in a weird way, Josh has almost taken that as like, well, I have to play make. I have to chuck it downfield. He's not really trusting the offense right now. They got a few things they got to figure out real quick before the playoffs start. It's been a weird year in Buffalo, but only guy who can be top 5 in basically every passing stat for multiple years now. It'd still be top 9. That's why he's simply the GOAT. No, I get it, dude. Hey, he's very good. He's a very, very good quarterback. And I like to say this sometimes, and I get it. Like, if you're a fan of a team, like, I totally understand going to bat. I will say though, like, dude, if you're the 9th best quarterback in the NFL, you're an awesome player. Dude, you have no idea what I would do to have the 9th best quarterback play for the Vikings right now. Like, if you have the 9th best quarterback in the NFL, like, you just need like a pretty good team and like you're a Super Bowl contender, Like, he's good, man. He's good. 9 is good. All right. Cam Ward or Geno Smith? We'll go Cam Ward. Cam Ward or Jackson Dart? I'll go Cam Ward. Will I go Cam Ward over Bryce Young? That one's tough, man. I don't know. Cam Ward or Bryce Young? You know what? We'll go Bryce. What the heck? We'll go Daniel Jones over Bryce Young, though. Daniel Jones or Spencer Rattler? I guess we'll see. We've seen a little bit more high-end play out of Daniel Jones. We'll go Jones. Jones or Tua? We'll go Jones. Jones or Shuck? We're in like the 20s range, if I had to guess for this quiz. Titans fans sweating our. Hey, I think give it a few years, especially if Titans have like a decent offense or decent offseason. Ward might climb up a little bit. I don't think he was a bad pick by any means. I'm not familiar with the Steve Jeltz video. I might have to familiarize. Jones or Shuck? We'll go Jones, but I honestly think it's kind of close. Baker Mayfield or Daniel Jones? Oh boy. We'll go Baker. Baker or Kyler? I'll go Kyler. Kyler or Hurts? This is an interesting one. We'll go Hurts. We'll go Hurts. It's real close, though. Bo Nix or Jalen Hurts? Oh. We'll go Hurts. Hurts or Rodgers? Hurts. Darnold over Hurts, though. There we go. And then we'll go Darnold over Daniels. Darnold or Purdy is a tough one. Oh. Kyler over Baker? That was a little spicy. I don't know. Like, I've started to, like, flip. I mean, look, Baker had a great year last year, but I do think there was, like, some stuff that's, I don't know. If you pop the hood a little bit, it's like, there's some problems in his game a little bit. Not even the turnovers, but I hate to get like so hung up on like the sacks, but like one thing that I thought was really interesting, and we've seen rear its head even more this year because the line has been worse. But here's something that I found really interesting last year, and this is a stat that I think just like kind of tells the story of Baker Mayfield a little bit and paints a decent picture of like where he's at as a player. He's a good player. I'm not saying he's like awful, right? Per like pretty much any metric last year, if you look at like pressure rate, right? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line last season and what was Baker Mayfield's best season of his career, the Bucs line pretty much allowed like the fewest pressure, least amount of pressure in the NFL. Bunch of different ways you cut up. And if you watch the Bucs, it's like, dude, holy crap, like they're blocking their tails off, right? Tons of clean pockets. And yet, despite that, Baker Mayfield was still one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL and still had one of the highest sack rates in the NFL. And so pretty much what you've got as a quarterback with good protection, but still getting sacked a lot, And he's done at least some to mitigate that by like, he's gotten pretty good at like knowing to just when to just tuck and run and like run up field, right? But I don't know. I mean, and he had a sick offensive line. He had Liam Cohen cooking up for him last year and those receivers. It's like, the 41 touchdowns might have been slightly misleading. He's not bad. He's better than he was in Cleveland, but Baker might come in at like 21 for me, honestly. I don't know. Oh yeah, let's go, Sebastian. I appreciate it. Hey, let's go. That's something I've been pounding the drum for a while, and finally I got like this video to kind of get that take off a little bit. But oh yeah. No, that's fair. Achilles exploder. I mean, that's a fair point. Like that's a fair point that he has had a lot of turnover at OC, and so like maybe a little bit of stability for him would be nice. I'll grant you that, but I don't know. It might be my Waterloo. I mean, hey, like. Hey, he is like, look, and he's a better player than this, right? So maybe this is like a bad faith argument to make. But like, he's been kind of bad, really, like ever since Tampa's bye week, right? Like, he's had some rough games in there. He's had a few good games too, but I don't know. Kyler over Baker. We'll see. Time will tell if I'm right. That take is unforgivable. You know what? Teach their own. I get it. Hey, I've had some truly unforgivable takes before this. I've had worse takes. All right. Back to Darnold versus Purdy. I might say Purdy. Purdy's going to come in like fairly high. Purdy or Stroud, like, dude, like, I'm going to say Purdy. I'm like shocking myself with like how highly I'm putting Purdy. But he's earned it, man. He's earned it. We'll take Goff over Purdy, though. We'll take Goff over Caleb. Unfortunately, we will take Dak over Goff. Sorry, Sebastian. But, I mean, it's Dak, dude. I mean, Dak is my man. He's still going to come in at like 6 or 7 for me. Unintentional. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, man. He's still going to watch, but he won't forget this. Fair enough. Maybe that'll be this year's G note. Dak or Trevor? I mean, this is another like dream combination right here for me, right? We'll go Dak by a hair, just barely. We'll go Dak over Love too. We'll go Lamar over Dak. Lamar or May? See? This is tough. I'm going to say May. He's been unbelievable. May or Burrow? Like, I almost want to say May. We'll say Burrow. Oh, I don't know. Oh, but May's been so good. Nah, you know what? Screw it. No, we're going to go May over Burrow. Stafford or May? We'll go Stafford. Stafford or Herbert? Stafford. Stafford or Mahomes? Mahomes. Mahomes or Allen? Dude, is Mahomes going to be number one? He might be. That's crazy. He is. He is. But honestly, I think it's valid. I think he this might sound crazy, but like I think he has been like the best quarterback in the league this year. There you go. There you have it. All right, let's go through this list here real quick. We'll maybe take a screenshot or something. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, Josh Allen. Number 3, Matthew Stafford. Number 4, Justin Herbert. Number 5, Drake May. Number 6, Joe Burrow. Number 7, Lamar Jackson. Number 8, Dak Prescott. Number 9, Jordan Love. Number 10, Trevor Lawrence. Number 11, Jared Goff. Number 12, Caleb Williams. Wow, I was not expecting that. 13, Brock Purdy, 14, CJ Stroud, 15, Sam Darnold, 16, Jaden Daniels, 17, Jalen Hurts, 18, Aaron Rodgers, 19, Bo Nix, 20, Kyler Murray, 21, Baker Mayfield, 21 Baker Mayfield, 22, Daniel Jones, 23, Tyler Shuck, 24, Tua Tagovailoa, 25, Spencer Rattler, 26, Bryce Young, 27, Cam Ward, 28, Jackson Dart, 29, Geno Smith, 31, Michael Penix, 32, Justin Fields, and 33, Shedeur Sanders. My love for Dak is crazy. I feel like 8 is fair. Like, he's been ridiculous this year, you know? Like, we've seen him hoop this season. He's had some big games in prime time. Like, he's like top 5 in everything. Not even, like, he leads the league in passing yards. On a crate, and like he's got 30 touchdowns, and like that's your standard stats. Like, I feel like that's fair. He's like top 5 in EPA. He's top 3 in quarterback rating. Like, I think that's fair. Number 11 for Goff, dude. I know that's so tough. I'm like, this is his best season ever, and he's number 11. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm taking the 10 guys ahead of him. It's tough. It's close, you know. Whatever. We're not going to look at the charts, but like, you know, but I get it. I get it. You know, like Dak is a very divisive player. I'm honestly surprised. I thought 8 was low. I thought he'd be a little bit higher, but I mean, like, I'm not going to take him over like May, you know, like May's the big new entry that's really shaking things up, you know. There you go, man. There you go. There you go. Herbert at 4. You know, I mean, I took him over Herbert last year, which is crazy. I'm going to take a real quick screenshot here just because I might want to post this and just save this for later. But I'll be honest. Also, shift. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Shift Command 4. There we go. Real interesting stuff right now. Seeing my screenshot tool. There's a few things I didn't necessarily expect here. And like, come on, wait. Did I screw that up? Whatever. I'll figure that out later. I can do that on my own time. It's all right. Here we go. I got to get chat pulled back up. Anyways, Herbert is not top 4 this year. That's valid. Herbert over May might be Herbert over May is tough. That is tough. He is pretty darn good though, isn't he? I feel pretty good about my list. I don't feel as set and rock solid about it as I did last year. Last year I was like, dude, I cooked. This list is amazing. I did it. Like, I've built the perfect quarterback ranking. This year I feel like 80% versus last year was like, this is my best work ever, you know. But I think overall I did okay. But I'd love to see yours, Pair Champ. If anyone else wants to play along, I mean, you see the link right here, right? You can just look QB ranking, look up quarterback ranking quiz, Stay Hot quarterback ranking quiz, or Blade and Kirk quarterback ranking quiz, or anything like that. But I'd love to see what y'all do. If you want to put it in Discord or something like that, I think that'd be kind of fun. But this was something I wanted to do for a long time, right? I do this every year. It's only right. It was good to be back, man. We are going to be signing off here now, but I appreciate all of you guys tuning in here tonight. This was a fun stream, man. It was good to just hang out, talk ball a little bit, catch up, make another quarterback ranking quiz. Next week, we will be back. We will be back live Wednesday nights, filling out a playoff bracket and playing a few games. That should be an awesome stream, dude. I can't wait for the playoffs. I know. I think it was Ron that was saying in chat earlier, like, playoffs are going to be awesome this year. Dude, it's so wide open. I mean, with all, like, there feels like there's no one team that stands above all the rest. Both conferences look wide open. I mean, we could see so much chaos in the playoffs. I think we're going to be in for an all-timer. So I'm excited to fill out that bracket. Got a few takes I can't wait to share with y'all. But until next time, man, y'all have a fun and safe and happy new year. I will see you all next year. Oh. All right. Y'all take care, though. Y'all have a good night.